And we are back, and we're going to go now to line 4 and speak to Danny Dumaresque. How are you doing today, sir?
Good day, sir. How are you?
Not too bad.
Oh, that's good. It's a little rainy, but at least the fog has disappeared.
A little rainy. Oh, my God, man.
Yeah. Well, there's no problem with me. I'd like to see that snow gone now. And
that's true. It is cutting into the snow, but boy, oh boy, there's some water on the road. I fear people on the highway with those ruts and the hydroplaning and whatnot.
Yes, no doubt about that. We got certainly ruts all over the place in the province's finances.
Nice segue. Well done.
Yeah, what I wanted to talk about is now that we're seeing Dr. Locke emerge again as a poster boy for the government. It was only a little over a year ago that he was out saying that, this government was completely out of control. Spending was gone a whack, and certainly we're going to double our deficits in 10 years and so on and so forth without Muskrat Falls. And, certainly now we hear this morning, well, now he's soft and cuddly and it's manageable. Well, obviously the only thing that's changed is that he's now an employee of the government as opposed to...
Got to spend money to make money.
A government wannabe.
Yeah.
Anyway, what I wanted to focus on is not good enough just to criticize. I wanted to focus on what I believe has been a core of the problem that we have today, and that is the creation of Nalcor. I believe that this experiment has gone horribly wrong. I mean, if you look at Nalcor as it has performed since it's been created, it has been nothing but a sinkhole for taxpayers' money. And just give you a few examples. They got into the equity and the offshore oil business. They took our money and started gambling with the equity in offshore oil. And just as an example of why no other government in Canada or in the United States gets into this type of business is EBRON. I mean, when we signed on to EBRON, we were looking at an investment of $250 million plus the $100 that we'd already signed on for at the beginning. That's $350 million. But lo and behold, now we're looking at $850 million and counting. Yep. This is $500 million of taxpayers' money that has now been gone as a result of a gamble that was taken for Nalcor to get into this equity. And my position is very clear. Get out of the oil business. Stop gambling our money in oil. We cannot afford the risk.
Well, there's one thing that's true for sure, that the money we're investing in both the Muskrat Falls project and Hebron is growing, and that means that it is going to take longer and longer for any returns down the road to be seen. But listen, let me ask you this: doesn't Norway does extremely well from their investment and their positions in the business?
Well, certainly Norway is maybe an exception to the rule, and certainly in the beginning to the North Sea to take oil out of the ground at the time, because there was also the world was full of oil, and therefore people in the private sector weren't taking that chances. But yes, Norway has done it, and so has Hugo Chavez and other dictators in the world have gone out and controlled the oil business in other parts of the world. But in the modern Western world that we live in North America, Texas, these very conservative states and private enterprises flourishing, certainly no state in the United States, no province in Canada, like Alberta, for example, dare venture into this. And the reason is very clear. You just cannot gamble. You're dealing with a commodity. I mean, when the government put out the DG2 numbers for oil, they went as far as predicting it would go to $190 a barrel before the end of the 20s, and here we are now at $100 a barrel, and many people are certainly speculating. Very reputable predictors are saying it's going to be well under $100 a barrel in 10 years. But as I said, equity is one thing. Get out of it. Take our money now, take it out, put it back into where we got to be serving people with ferries and hospitals and so forth. That's what governments are supposed to do. Because if you look at Nalcor And what they've done in drilling and survey work and extra administration is $100 million gone in Parsons Pond and down under the Labrador Sea moping around. You know, that's another $100 million. The recall power, where they took the power, instead of selling it at the border with Quebec, where we're getting our $50 million and putting it in our pocket, they decided to make a deal with Emera. And over 5 years, we will lose $100 million on that deal. Mm-hmm. And, of course, the biggest bonanza of all, the biggest fiasco of all is Muskrat Falls. I mean, over the next 3-4 years, we are going to take $3 billion of taxpayers' money and send it over to Nalcor. And, of course, we're not going to get the return on it. There's no return from Muskrat Falls. The only thing we're going to get is the light bills are going to be going up and up. And the people of the province are just going to have to dig deeper and deeper into pockets that are already empty for a significant portion of our population. So, you know, we have got to start making choices in this province. And to me, Nalcor is the prime target. This is an experiment that's gone horribly wrong, and it's time for us to get out of it, get back to having a lean, mean generation of transmission in Newfoundland Hydro, get out of the equity positions, and also take our investment, return on investment, bring it back to where it was before. J.R. Ewing here and running a big oil business. This is not the case, and we got our priorities wrong. So my message is to the government today, and certainly to Mr. Locke, regardless of the rose-colored glasses you're now looking in, let's see this as the target where we have got to make the adjustment, and hopefully we'll do it in time so we don't have the financial calamity that we saw in places like Greece and Spain and other places of the modern world today.
Okay, so if the 10-gallon hat doesn't fit, don't wear it.
Absolutely, no question about it. We were never meant to be oil sheiks, and governments are never meant to do anything else but to be responsible, administer services, and build ferries that can do a job for the places like Fogo and Change Islands, and support the development of our fishery for all the right reasons. That's what we do with our money. We don't gamble it in the oil business, and we don't waste it by doing silly projects like Nalcor have done, and certainly giving Nova Scotia free power while the people in this province are going to have to pay through the nose for their light bill unnecessarily.
Okay, Danny Dumaresque, we're going to leave it there, but thanks very much for the call this morning.
Thanks for your time, and good luck with your show, and certainly we'll miss Randy, and look forward to seeing the replacement and continuing vigorous debate in this province.
All right, sir. Thanks again.
All the best.
All right, bye-bye.